Yo, check it. Yo, fam, what is up? We got an absolute banger for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin. What is the latest moves? Bitcoin literally blasting off. We're also going to look at XRP charts as well. Wait to the end of the video for all that. We're also breaking down AMC GME, what you need to know, also fundamentals that are in play, and technicals you need to know for tomorrow. And we're going to be looking at SPY in the overall stock market. Let's not waste any more time and hop in the charts, facts, data. Let's go. Hey, yo, fam, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. In this video, we're looking at AMC GME, SPY, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. You already know the deal. Daily outlook of predictions, stocks, and crypto. This video is not financial advice. Let's go ahead and hop in the charts right about now. So as you guys can see, ladies and gentlemen, GME getting some pullback after getting a nice push to the upside here. AMC also getting some pullback after getting a nice push to the upside here pre-market. Overall, we are slowly inching up here for AMC and for GME. I'm going to break down what we could expect to see and why they are fighting so hard to keep AMC and GME down. So yesterday, you guys know the same story. They dumped a ton of short shares. Guess what they did today? Dump a ton of short shares. 4.3 million all the way down to about 3.4 million, ladies and gentlemen, at time of recording. And they did refresh a little bit here. Getting some shares as well, dumping on the way down. So they dumped a ton of short shares here for GME. And then AMC, same story. You guys can see they started with about 4.2 million all the way down to about 3.8 million. And that's after refreshing as well and then dumping down again. So dumping a ton of short shares on the meme stocks. This should increase cost to borrow. But the reason why they're doing this is because if GameStop were to stay above $28, you guys can see right here, and particularly GameStop as well, you guys can see right here, $28, there's a ton of call option activity. With the SPY being this low, margin calls would come into play if the meme stocks rise. And you see also a gamma ramp could possibly come into play, because if we get over $28 and hold that, they're going to have to start hedging for all of these call options. You can see people are actually buying $28, $28.50, $29, and $29.50 call options for GME. They're also buying some deep out of the money call options here at $41 and $49. So things are extremely bullish on the options chain. And as we move closer and closer to Friday, they're going to have to hedge for more and more calls, giving us more and more buying volume, pushing us higher and higher. So this is why they are desperately trying to keep GME away from that $28 level. And of course, $27.80 is the last major support and resistance before $28. So that's why they're trying to keep us underneath $27.80. Now, even better for them if they can keep us under $27.50. That's even less calls in the money. Right now, GME is holding $27, and I think it will continue to hold $27. But we do have this gap fill right underneath 26 right here at 26.68 to about 26.63 that we do have to be aware of, that potentially does need to get filled and will get filled at some point. So we could see a little bit more pullback here for GME, but I'm thinking overall right now we're going to continue up. We are in an overall uptrend. We're kind of flattening out right now. You guys can see we're in this overall uptrend. We're kind of flattening out right now, so we might need to consolidate and or pull back. But it looks like if we do pull back, we'll probably make a higher low and continue up. GME is looking extremely bullish. And once they announce that they did buy the Bitcoin, hopefully they bought the Bitcoin dip because Bitcoin's doing very, very well. That will send GME flying. So again, we have potential catalysts on the horizon for GME. GME looking really good. And then as far as the technicals are concerned, we have these buy orders as well holding us up. It looks like we'll probably consolidate and then move up here for GME stock, as GME potentially is starting to make a bull flag type structure. Again, if we can consolidate between around the levels of like $27 and of course $28, forming an overall bull flag and then pushing up from there. So GME looking very bullish in my personal opinion. We want to see if we can get back above $27.50 and $27.80. That is what GME bulls want to see. So that's what we're going to be looking for tomorrow. And do be aware of this gap fill to the downside at about 26.63 to about 26.68. That might need to get filled. We might see a drop down. If we did, it would make RSI reset and it would be very, very low. Buyers would be stepping in and you'd probably see a push to the upside. We do have buy orders from GameStop all the way from 27.10 all the way down to about 26.91. And then of course we have this set of buy orders here at 25.70 all the way at 25.20. 25. So this is what I'm looking at for GME. Things are looking good for a continuation to the upside as far as the alligator is concerned, showing that we still have good momentum. Also here on the daily time frame, we do have green MACD as well, and we have room to run on the RSI. So it's looking good for GME to possibly continue up, looking like we're potentially about to get a golden cross here on the daily time frame, as well as the 50 moving average is trying to cross above the 200 moving average. Right now, price being above the 200 moving average on the daily time frame is a good sign for GME. And we are breaking out of this overall falling wedge. With the falling wedge does have a price target of $30 to $35 when it's all said and done. So again, GME macro looking good. Now, as far as AMC is concerned, AMC is also breaking out of a falling wedge, and I think AMC, once GME starts to go, AMC will start to go with it. I know a lot of people are sleeping on AMC right now and very discouraged with AMC, and that's fine and dandy, but I'm telling you guys, once GME starts to go, once SPY starts to pull back, AMC will take off, in my personal opinion. Now, you guys can see that we have this huge gap fill to the upside for AMC at 283 to 286. So that's why they wanted to keep AMC underneath 275 and 280, because if we stay above that, then we're going to go for the gap fill. And if we go for the gap fill, then we're probably going to go for $3. And they do not want AMC over $3 right now. If GME is over $30 and AMC starts pushing towards $5 to $6, that's simultaneously putting a ton of pressure on the shorts. So they do not want that, especially while SPY is pulling back right now and liquidity is being drained out of the market. That is not going to be good for the hedge funds. So that's why they're shorting so heavily, fighting tooth and nail to try to keep AMC and GME down and dumping a ton of short shares. But as of right now, it looks like AMC is bottoming, like I did say. I told you guys, most likely we're going to see a rounded bottom form around this level here for AMC. And we're probably not going lower than that 250. You can see that there's that buy orders right here at about 251 to about 246. So if we did come down, we would get buy orders and get pushed back up. But what I'm thinking is we're probably going to make a higher low, how I illustrated here in yesterday's video, consolidate around these ranges, and then push back to the upside, exactly like the predictions I had on the video and on the screen for quite some time. So again, I think we're going to consolidate around this 270, 280 level and then start moving up. So that's why they're desperately trying to keep us underneath 280, because once we build this base here, we're going to start pushing up into these gaps and filling these gaps. The algo is going to take over, Gamma is going to take over, and then AMC is going to really start to move up more rapidly. Again, we need to see volume coming in. They're dark pulling a lot of our volume. You will see volume randomly spike when the time is right. But right now they're dark pulling a lot of our volume. And that is why we're seeing these low volume, low movement days. Of course, if GameStop did push towards $30 to $35, that would put a lot of pressure on the shorts. And then that could help AMC move up as well. And of course, if we did see a major pullback or correction in the overall stock market, that could be cause for margin calls, which could literally see these get God candles out of nowhere and just see absolute explosion. So AMC right now, as far as the technicals are concerned, we're waiting on some more catalysts. We do have earnings coming up here soon, so we are waiting for some more catalysts. As far as technicals are concerned, we really are waiting on GME as well. But right now, if you want, you could bide your time, buy the dip, accumulate, get your average lower. That is totally up to you, but you need to do your own research and due diligence. But as far as I am concerned, I think AMC is bottoming, breaking out of this overall falling wedge. We'll probably make a higher low and continue up. And once we break back above $3, that's when AMC will start to move up a lot more quickly, especially with all of these gap fills. So this one I'm looking at for AMC and GME. Again, as far as short interest is concerned, 11.28% here for AMC, which is plenty of short interest for a short squeeze. 11.65% here for GME. Again, plenty of short interest for a short squeeze. And then if you go ahead and just look at cost to borrow is sitting at 0.28% here for GME. And then the AMC cost to borrow at time of recording is sitting at 0.56%. We want to see cost to borrow go higher on both of the meme stocks. So this is what I'm looking at for the meme stocks. Let's go ahead and move into SPY in the overall market. So SPY getting a little bit of a pump. Okay, we had this bullish news, or quote-unquote bullish news, come out where Trump was basically saying he's not going to fire Jerome Powell. Also, some of the tariff stuff, starting to get off the table and stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, the tariffs are still in play, and the overall economy is still bad, ladies and gentlemen. So in my opinion, this is just more liquidity pumps. Okay, we have higher inflation, higher employment. This is stagflation. Okay, the AI bubble created a narrative, and it created too much liquidity, and it's being drained out of the market. The market is not able to sustain these valuations, and it is overvalued. That's why the market must fall. I believe they are simply trying to stop some of the bleeding. Again, we've seen some of the perma bulls come out today, but look how quickly things changed as SPY immediately started to give back some of those gains. Now, SPY is forming a little bit of a double bottom here, and I do think we could see a little bit more consolidation, possibly a push to the upside. But until SPY breaks this overall downtrend and breaks above this orange line of the sloping support and resistance, we are not bullish, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, if you look at the weekly time frame, we are in a overall downtrend. On the alligator, very powerful downtrend on the alligator on the weekly and daily time frame. If we look at the moving averages on the daily time frame, we have a death cross here on SPY. Also, you guys can see we're very far underneath the 200 moving average, the 50 moving average, and the 100 moving average. It's very, very, very likely that SPY will come up and retest these moving averages, but then get rejected back down, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably going to use these as resistance and continue down. So even if you've seen SPY come all the way up to like 580, 590, it's still bearish in my personal opinion, because the macro is showing that we need a correction. Again, once you have monthly RSI get to these deep overbought territories, you normally need a deep correction before you continue up. So I believe this is simply a bounce on the way down. Again, I think SPY is coming up and filling some of these upside gaps, but it's setting itself up for failure, and that's why I named the live stream that today, because it's leaving gaps on the way up, which are going to need filled when it comes back down. It's simply coming up to fill these liquidity gaps before moving down. And again, the tariffs are not going away. They're not completely off the table. They're going to cause more inflation, and this is going to lead the economy in a worse position. So ladies and gentlemen, the things are not over. And even if the tariffs were not in play, we still do not have a strong economy. So this is why the market is overvalued, especially with the AI bubble pushing things so high. It's time for things to come down. And until the technicals show me something bullish, I must remain bearish on the macro. And that's how I predicted this crash. And I do not think this crash is over. I think we will see more downside. So SPY, as far as what we could see for tomorrow, I believe, yeah, we do have durable goods and exiting home sales. That's going to be at 8:30 and 10 a.m. So just be ready for that. Those aren't that huge, but that's definitely something that will affect the market. And then also, as far as price action is concerned, I'm thinking we could see some excitement here pre-market. We need to see if SPY is able to hold 537.06 and break above 538.84 in order to be bullish. I think we'll see some excitement pre-market, but we'll probably pull back and then continue up. Again, I think we could see a little bit more consolidation sideways / upwards movement, but I think overall we're going to be setting up for a move back down after we fill some of these gaps to the upside. So this is what I'm looking at for SPY. Let's go ahead and move into Bitcoin and crypto and wrap up this video. So Bitcoin, absolutely blasting off, and I'm sure some of your favorite altcoins are too, as crypto really starts to move to the upside. You can see major gains across the board. Trump coin also pumping as well. Not a fan of Trump coin, not a fan of meme coins, but it is pumping. ADA up 6%, XCN up 22%. ADA also making major moves as well. So coins are starting to move. Some of the biggest gainers are Trump coin, XCN, and ADA for today. Now, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, very, very bullish. We do have that death cross, but look how quickly the 50 moving average, which is the yellow line, is curling up to go back above the 200 moving average, which would give us a golden cross. Remember, I explained this to you guys where we had a bullish technical. We made a death cross here. Right here's the death cross, but look what happened. Price went back above the 200 moving average, the 50 moving average, the 100 moving average. Used those as support, broke out of the bull flag, and then we got a golden cross again. Right now, price is moved above the 100 moving average, the 50 moving average, and the 200 moving average. Price is above all of those on the daily time frame. It's extremely bullish. Plus, we're above the major level of 91.6K, and we're breaking out of this falling wedge. Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin is going for a new all-time high, whether you believe it or not. It is going to make a new all-time high, and I believe once it does this time, I think we might have a next leg up on the bull run, and this is when altcoin season will come. I told you guys 2025, the crypto bull run is not over. I told you guys we could decouple from the stock market. If you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is up over 10.25% here for the month, while the stock market is down over 4.25% for the month. Bitcoin is up again over 13% for the month. I'm sorry, that was the weekly candle. 13% for the month. Absolutely decoupling from the stock market. Also, the fact that we reset, we have room to run on the RSI. Now we are not overbought on the monthly time frame, and the weekly time frame RSI is over reset, so we have plenty of room before we get overbought. So Bitcoin is definitely setting up for another move to the upside, and it looks like we're gonna make a next leg up on this overall bull run. You guys can see that we're still on the weekly time frame using the moving averages as support. This bull run is not over. We came down, tested the 50 moving average as support here on the weekly time frame, bounced right off of that, breaking out of this falling wedge. This is extremely bullish, and once we get green MACD on the weekly time frame again, Bitcoin is going to take off and make a new all-time high, mark my words, probably around 115, 125, and potentially make the next leg up for a major move in the Bitcoin bull run, and that's going to take your altcoins with it and potentially bring in altcoin season, where we will get pure euphoria and things will be crazy for crypto holders. Again, I told you guys extensively here using the Bitcoin rainbow chart that we always accumulate after halving, then we have this huge rally, accumulate after halving, huge rally, accumulate after the halving, huge rally. We are having the halving, we are accumulating, and we are about to go into that mega rally. And look at some of these price targets for that orange, yellow, and green, man. These are major price targets here for BTC, and I think we're going to 115, 125 per BTC easily, and possibly much higher. Ladies and gentlemen, this was your daily outlook and prediction for stocks and crypto. Once Bitcoin makes that move, coins like XRP are going to absolutely go crazy. Some possible price targets for XRP, $5 to $10. Possible price targets for ADA, $3 to $5. Possible price targets for Ethereum, $5,000 to $10,000 when this is all said and done. Bull run for 2025 is not over. And do remember that XRP did get an ETF as well. XRP is setting up to make moves. If we go ahead and look at the chart for XRP, it's actually breaking out of a major falling wedge, and this will lead XRP to a brand new all-time high and beyond. So XRP will be breaking 335 and much higher, in my personal opinion, once Bitcoin makes its move, because again, altcoins are going to be following Bitcoin because Bitcoin dominance is so high right now. If we go ahead and look at Bitcoin dominance sitting all the way at 61%. So when Bitcoin moves, altcoins will move. That's how it's going to go. This was your daily outlook and prediction for stocks and crypto. If you found the video informative, go ahead and drop a like. If you want to support the channel in a different way, you can go ahead and check out the merch store. I'm rocking some of the merch right now with the fresh white tee. We also got Bitcoin t-shirts, different types of t-shirts, rockets in the tat t-shirts, all types of things. Boys, girls, check it out. And all sales directly support the channel. We also have a Discord where I give out exclusive buy and sell signals, exclusive technicals, and it literally pays for itself. $100 for a lifetime invite. If you want to get a hold of that, hit me up on my email, DataZeroOfficial5. And I appreciate you if you watch to the end of this video. If you want to support for absolutely free, share the video, leave a like, leave a comment down below. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out, fam. Alright, y'all, that was the video. If you found it informative, please drop a like and leave a comment down below and share this video to help spread it to more people so they can find the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you because I couldn't have made it this far without your guys' support. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace.